Southwest Florida. Coach Freeman keeping you all in line since Steve Quinn's gone now. Good job, Coach Freeman. From the great state of Texas, let's give it up for Team Austin. Team Austin, right now to the other sideline. Fastest team in Texas. Great job, Team Austin. Looking good. Followed up by the O-line, who's not sprinting. And we got the mayor of Boston. Let's give it up for one of our founding teams. Have been in the FBU National Championship for the past 15 years. Give it up for Team Massachusetts. Team Director PJ Vanderwright, our founding team. Out of Team Massachusetts, rolling in with an injured player. Let's keep him upright. Team Massachusetts in the house. Great job, PJ. Charter members of the FBU National Championship. All the way from Virginia, let's give it up for our 10 and under team, Team Virginia. Team Virginia in the house. Let's give it up for Team Rhode Island 10U. Let's go, Team Rhode Island. There we go. Good job, Beverly. Led by Beverly. We got some athletic kids up there in Rhode Island. What do we got coming up now, Matt Lauer? From the Bluegrass State, let's give it up for the 8th grade, Team Kentucky. Team Kentucky in the house. 8th graders made it all the way to Naples, Florida to play for a national championship. One of our founding organizations, along with Team Massachusetts, is Team Kentucky, who does a great job with their Kentucky Middle School program, selecting the best athletes from all across the state. Great job, Team Kentucky. And coming out in red, we have our 10U and 7th grade Team MoKan. Let's give it up for Team MoKan. That would be Missouri, Kansas City, I believe. Try to hype it a little bit for you. My little guy coming across there. Love it. Team MoKan in the house does a great job every year, year in and year out, representing the great state of Missouri and Kansas, along with the coaching staff. Great job, Team MoKan. Looking good. From the great state of Texas, we've got our 10U and 8th grade Team Houston. Led by Big Bo Route. They're down a Division I football player. Going to hear a lot from him in future years. Team Houston had a big game yesterday against Team Utah. We'll play for 3rd place tomorrow. Great job by Tim Jackson over there, another one of our founding national championship teams that have been in this tournament for 15 years. Tim Jackson and his group do a great job out there in Houston. We appreciate you guys. First year in the tournament. Done a great job getting all the way from Utah. Let's give it up for Team Southern Utah. From the great state of Utah. Southern Utah, about 2 hours from Las Vegas. Great job, guys. Look forward to having you back for many years. Great job, coaching staff, parents, getting you guys out here playing for a national championship. Let's give it up for the FBU East, led by my man Terrence Bullock at the 10U, 6th grade and 7th grade level. His team 6th grade DFW East will play for a natty tomorrow evening, right back here at the Paradise Coast Sports Complex. only his second year in the program. Great job, Coach Bullock, all your family members, teams, team moms, team DFW East. Led by team director Jason Brower and all of his coaching staff. Great job, guys. Love having you guys in the tournament. Been with us for almost 10 years now. Team Carolina, another founding member of the Football University National Championship Tournament. I'm glad we're not sprint today, Carolina. They look good in all black, though, don't they, Jason? Looking good, guys. Team Carolina. Being dressed up, ready to go. They just stepped off the bus, ready to play for a national championship. And from just a different part of Boston, we got the Boston Gators 8U and 10U. Give it up for Boston Gators! Let's go, Boston! Chop, chop. Look at that. Trainer! From Georgia, give it up for GMSA, 6th grade and 7th grade. Fantastic job by the coaches and directors up there in Cobb County area. I guess I used to run a little bit. Beat the heck out of spring right up there. Great job, GMSA, first-class organization. All the way from Memphis, Tennessee, let's give it up for 8U, 10U, and 6th grade. Team Memphis, Tennessee. That boy's ready to go. Yes, sir. Athletic clutch there. Great job, coaches. Great job, parents. Love seeing Tennessee in our tournament. Great job, guys.
The old tradition. Good, man. Yourself? I'm great.
Another team all the way from Texas. Let's give it up for San Antonio, 7th grade, Team San Antonio. We'll be down there in about 3 weeks for the Navy All-American Bowl on NBC. Hanging out with our Team San Antonio and about 30,000 other people that will be in the Alamo Dome. Watch the top 70 high school players from across the country play in East-West format. Team San Antonio. Great job, parents, coaches. State of Florida, from the Disney capital of the world, let's give it up for Team Central Florida in the house. Team Central Florida 7th grade will play for a national championship tomorrow, led by Team Director Logan Wood. Logan and his staff have done a great job the past 5 years, won a 7th grade national championship title last year, a.k.a. the Camp King. In the house. Can we see a Camp King dance?
We'll roll with that.
Great job, players, coaches, and parents. Team Central Florida.
That's something for that. This is fun.
And their first year in the program, playing for a natty tomorrow night. Let's give it up for Team Southeast Florida, 6th grade. Based out of the West Palm area, pulling kids from all across that area. They've done a fantastic job. In year 1, you have a team play for a natty at the 6th grade level tomorrow night. Team Southeast Florida. Great job, coaches, team director, and all parents. Thank you for being a part of the Football University National Championship. Let's give it up for 10U, 6th grade and 7th grade, Team Tampa in the house. Great job, Team Tampa. Great job, players, coaches, team directors. I think we brought all Tampa now. Another team from Texas. Let's give it up for Dallas Metro 6th grade and Dallas Metro 8th grade. Let's give it up for Corey Harbert and his Dallas team. He's been with us for almost a decade now, doing a fabulous job out there in the Dallas Metro area. Congratulations for being down here for what it seems like every year. Might be the furthest traveled, led by my guy Freddie Arteaga, playing for a national championship tomorrow. Team Southern California, 7th grade. Team SoCal, all the way from the LA area. Every year have a team representing out here. Fantastic job, guys. Great job, Freddie, coaching staff, all your parents. Team SoCal. Just down south of the Atlanta area. Let's give it up for Team South Georgia 10U and 6th grade. Team South Georgia. Great job, young men. Great job, coaches.
Like the screen movement. Especially the white, because those numbers are still
All the way from the Philadelphia area. Let's give it up for the Fighting John Coleman, Team Pennsylvania. Team PA in the house. Love them green jerseys, guys. They're representing Philadelphia Eagles, it looks like. Let's give it up for my guy Rob Best, his coaching staff, way up from the Connecticut area. Let's give it up for Team Connecticut. Team Connecticut in the house. Stay upright, fellas. We got another game to play tomorrow. Great job, Rob Best and his Team Connecticut crew. Seems like they're a staple down here every year.
Oh, just because you're holding me.
From the Cornhusker State, let's give it up for 10U, 6th grade, 7th grade, Team Nebraska! Looking good in that big, fellas. Great job, coaches. Great job, parents. Team Nebraska in the house. 10U level. Let's give it up for Team Utah! Team Utah in the house! Great job, coaches. Great job, team directors. Playing for a natty tomorrow. Boys are excited. Let's give it up for 8U, 10U, 6th grade, 7th grade, 8th grade, GFL! Team GFL! Ladies that you can imagine. And playing for another national championship tomorrow evening at the 8th grade level. I believe it one or two at the lower grade levels as well. Team GFL, watch the big man. Stay upright. 15th anniversary of our freshman All-American Bowl in our 9th year here in Naples, Florida. My name is Stephen Witt, managing partner of Football University. We welcome all the football players, coaches, and spectators to the Paradise Coast Sports Complex. It is the objective of Football University to have tonight's game contested in the most sportsmanlike atmosphere possible. The officials have been instructed to tolerate absolutely no unsportsmanlike conduct from players, coaches, or fans. We ask that the fans help us and reach out our objective by conducting yourselves in a sportsmanlike and respectful manner. Thank you very, very much for your cooperation and enjoy the game.
Gatorade has the #1 proven electrolyte blend, designed to hydrate better than water, so you can lose more sweat and put the league on notice. Gatorade, is it in you?
Yeah, birds in the trap, they gon' stink, mother. Mara serving the act out of baby bottle. Don't tell me shut up, you are not my boss. Turn up so much now I just can't turn up. Don't call me message, you can't answer when I call you. Daddy was a rolling stone, I get it from my father. Chain so heavy that I can't buck all up. She know I was a devil cause I wear a lot of product.
Florida's Paradise Coast is more than just the home of the FBU National Championships. We're also the home of endless natural beauty and wild adventures, the home of holes-in-one and one-of-a-kind dishes, the home of incredible comebacks, and just plain kicking back. So come discover a sports paradise, because only paradise will do. Naples, Marco Island, and the Everglades, Florida's Paradise Coast.
Gatorade has the #1 proven electrolyte blend, designed to hydrate better than water. Made to rehydrate, replenish, and refuel, so you can lose more sweat and earn a place in history. Gatorade. Is it in you?
can't hit it. No, you can't be moving up now. Come on, sniper. anniversary of the Freshman All-American Bowl and our 9th year here in Naples, Florida. My name is Steve Quinn, managing partner. I want to welcome all the football players, coaches, and spectators to the Paradise Coast Sports Complex. We're going to start off tonight by announcing our coaching staff. First, for Team Electric, head coach Corinne Birch, quarterback coach Ray Isaac, wide receiver coach Michael Walker, running back coach Javarius James, offensive line coach Jonah Davinsky, defensive line coach Coach Stavros, linebacker coach Chris Varagos, and offensive coordinator DeMarcus Ganaway. Let's give it up for the Team Electric coaches. Team Impact, led by head coach Grant Lewis, wide receiver coach Aaron Brady, running backs coach Chad Spann, offensive line coach Frank Truffenbaum, quarterback coach and OC Tim Thornton, defensive line coach Ron Bidington, linebacker coach Brian Hodge, and defensive back coach Aaron Williams. Let's give it up for Team Impact coaching staff. Are we ready to meet our players? First for Team Electric, athlete Taj Anderson, athlete Chakori, center Cooper McGrath, defensive back Aiden Lockett, defensive back Dante Shepard, defensive back Elijah Bauer, defensive back Kenneth Rowell, defensive back Montre Stotts, defensive back Tandrick Gibson Jr., defensive back James Allen, defensive back Dwayne Benjamin, defensive line Carson Bell, defensive line Martell Shannon, linebacker Dante Koch, linebacker Destin Reeves, linebacker James Davis Martin, linebacker Caleb White, long snapper Drew Morley, long snapper Tyler Weeks, offensive line Julius Odethal, offensive line Justin Golden, offensive line Kevin Noble, offensive line King Irvin, offensive line Marvin Alexander Jr., offensive line Kim McKinney, punter and kicker Camden Baker, punter kicker Julian Salter, quarterback Tahir Charles, quarterback Nolan Downs, running back Jaden Phillips, running back Zachary Watts, tight end Cooper Bunce, wide receiver Aiden Robinson, wide receiver Daryl McFadden, wide receiver Evans Branch, wide receiver Joey Furtado, athlete Todd Anderson. Are you all ready to meet Team Impact? Athlete Titus Cybers, center Nathan Bajito, defensive back Bryson Robb, defensive back Dylan Thomas, defensive back Jordan Jones, defensive back DeMarcus Van Dyke, defensive back Riley Lewis, defensive back Miguel Bethia Jr., defensive line Ben McFadden Jr., defensive line Caden Gray, defensive line Cash Johnson, defensive line Michael Williams Jr., defensive line Rome Samuels, linebacker Kalen Feely, linebacker Carter Janot, linebacker Cash Tully, linebacker DJ Butler, linebacker Graham Rizzuto, linebacker Owen Rose, linebacker Hunter Betridge, offensive line Blair Lewis, offensive line Kate Miller, offensive line Jordan Lewis, offensive line Landon Gee, offensive line Ewan Zafudi, kicker punter Austin Wild, quarterback Ezekiel Hester, quarterback Justin Johnson. Wide receiver, Avion Darian. Wide receiver, Bishop Allen. Wide receiver, Chris Coleman. Wide receiver, Michael Savell Rogers. Wide receiver, Rush Williams. Athletes, Alaire Remus. Let's give it up for both our teams, Team Impact and Team Electric. Everybody please rise for our national anthem.
Wait. National anthem. Be respectful, boys.
We welcome you to Naples, Florida. The Paradise Sports Complex for the 2025 FBU All-American Bowl. The 15th edition, powered by Battle, Collier County at Christmas time. It's become a great tradition. Hi, everyone. Neil Sika with ESPN recruiting coordinator Craig Hobart, and we are here to have some fun. Joe Scladandi down on the sideline for us here. For 70 of the nation's top freshmen, Craig, it's become a great tradition watching these players who have come off their freshman season, many with multiple offers, and the next stars on the big stage heading towards college football.
Yeah, it seems it's never too early to get to know who the next stars are. Even if you just watched college football this past fall, how many true freshmen were making an impact like the Corey Moore at Oregon. So you think, wow, ninth graders, why do we need to know? But 4 years will go by pretty quick, and some of these guys will be the next impact players in college football.
And a perfect example of that, Malachi Toney, who shined in this game in 2022 and actually reclassified a freshman star for the U, the Miami Hurricanes, who pulled off the big upset in the college football playoff at Texas A&M yesterday. So there are tons of names, a bevy of them that will go through the tradition-rich game. This is the 15th anniversary of this game. Think back to the days of Sony Michel and Trevor Lawrence, who played and have gone on to great NFL careers. The 9th year in Naples, and the weather, the perfect setting. We see the teams for the coin toss out at midfield. Team Impact against Team Electric. Team Impact is in white. Electric is in black. Our referee is Arthur Van Dam. And Team Electric has won the toss and looks like they've deferred their choice to the second half.
I wonder if our official knows karate.
Well, funny enough you say that. There are a couple of kids in this game, a black belt in karate, a black belt in jiu-jitsu. So multi-talented stars not only on the football field but in other endeavors. And, of course, it's a great crowd. Bowl week tying in with a lot of carrots leading toward the Navy All-American Bowl. We had the Under Armour next 8th grade All-American game. That actually comes up the week after Christmas, but a lot of these players as 8th graders shined and are featured here tonight in our 9th grade game. Many completing their freshman seasons playing varsity ball, some JV, some freshmen, but it's a chance to shine tonight in the bright lights of Naples, Florida.
Yeah, I mean, you get a player like a Justin Merriman for team impact in a white jersey. He goes to DePaul Catholic in New Jersey. He played on their freshman team because their starting quarterback, Derek Zammit, signed with Washington.
Mm-hmm.
So you may be at a school where your starting quarterback's going to be a power 4 quarterback, so you kind of got to wait your turn. But even in that situation, you see he's our starting quarterback here tonight.
Well, Merriman comes out. No kickoffs in this game, so they'll start on the opening play from scrimmage and a run up the middle. They are very high on this team impact offensive line in white. In fact, the coaching staff saying it might be the most talented offensive line ever seen in one of these FBU All-American Bowl games.
Yeah, if you get a chance, keep an eye at that left tackle. The very first block, he did a great job getting pushed against one of the best D linemen here, Carson Bell. His name is Landon G. Goes to Milton High School in Georgia.
So Merriman, who's got 5 offers under his belt, and he's got the running back from Columbus, Ohio, Pickerington Central specifically, Edmund McAllister, who totes the rock on second down, but he's got nowhere to go. Swallowed up by Snoop Shannon, the 6'5", 285 D lineman from Miami, Florida.
Yeah, he's got a good burst, a big man, also good with his hands. Each team has one big man that I really feel can impact the game, and the big number 77 is certainly one of them right out the gate.
Craig, they're all big.
Yeah.
Compared to me when I'm walking down on the field and chatting with these young men prior to kickoff, or at least here tonight, the opening snap. See that Spartan logo on the helmet of Justin Merriman, DePaul Catholic, which Craig mentioned. He's going to run with it and go into a slide where he's taken down by Desmond Reeves, who they say is a real dog in the heart of that defense, the linebacker. But it's 4th down, and the punting team comes on for impact on the opening series. Austin Wild, kicker, punter, multi-special teams duties for the specialists. But Wild, first team all-region as a freshman in Utah for the Wasatch Wasps. There are no direct blitzes or rushes off punts or field goal attempts here in an all-star game format. That punt is received, and Uno Shepard, Dantes' given name, from the Glenville Tar Blooders, a state champion 3 of the last 4 years in Ohio at the Division III level, and we see Team Electric for the first time with the football.
It'll be Nolan Downs out of IMG. His brother Ryan signed with Cornell, very good quarterback. Now, Nolan kind of the next one up.
IMG Academy Ascenders right up the road in Bradenton. They've got 3 different levels of high school ball, including the national level, which travels around the country and plays all the top prep teams. That opening carry goes for minimal yardage through the hole, and Caden Graves, he's one to watch right there, making the stop for Team Impact.
I will say this for the Electric offense. They've got 2 outstanding running backs. Jaden Phillips, number 5, is in there right now, as well as Zach Watts. I would feed both of them as they're trying to do here early.
A thunder-lightning combo, but there isn't much on the interior. And once more, Dash Holly leads the charge of tacklers for Impact after the Electric carry goes into the backfield for Phillips. Jaden Boom Phillips and Zach 14K Watts. He can be electrifying. 3rd and 6. It's the opening series for Electric. Opening minutes of this game. We play 12-minute quarters here in Naples. That pass over the middle is picked. Interception once again. He had the tackle on the play before, but Dash Holly swallows it up on the throw.
Yeah, Downs here, a little trouble with the snap through right, and you see 3 white jerseys right around number 42, Ja'Cory Shockley. And it was third down, but I'm sure they would have much preferred to punt and pin back this offense a little bit more.
Dash Holly, the man with the interception, had 25 tackles and a pick his freshman season for the Northwestern Trojans in Rock Hill, South Carolina. New quarterback, second series, team impact. Swing to the flat. There's a flag that comes after that healthy gain into electric territory. This may be coming back, but it was a nice run nonetheless by Rashawn Brown. And Arthur Van Dam, who Craig feels has worked on his karate skills, will see the call.
I thought I saw him doing a chair split before he came out. Yeah, it was Chris Coleman, number 11, on the edge. You love the effort by the wide receivers, trying to be out there and block, and he's giving it his best. You're going to see him come into screen there. But once that DB starts to try to work outside, you got to let go. He didn't there, and that brought the flag out and helped out this electric defense a little bit, pushing back the offense.
Whatever grade level it may be, 7th, 8th, 9th, all-star game formats are difficult, right? You play and practice together maybe 2 or 3 times before you get the adrenaline going in the big game format. Off that snap, a look downfield and a pass that spills into the sideline. Hester, who got out to the roll on the right, looks like he made that completion. Nope, that is incomplete. That was swatted away, and a nice job in coverage by Dantes Shepard.
A little pressure there, forcing Hester on a move. And I'll admit, quite a few of these players I've either seen in camps or done one of their games or watched on film. Hester is a guy who does not have a lot of film, and just from the few clips I could see and watch him this week, he's got a great release. But I'll tell you what, I'm going to learn with you watching tonight.
Goes by Zeke. It's from Indiana. Rolling again to his right. It is 2nd and forever. And that pass, looking like the same play call, falls incomplete. Call it 3rd down and 21 for Impact. This is their second offensive series.
Watch big number 77 had a disruptive play on that first series. Watch that defensive line. Sure they're going to be pinning their ears back.
Snoop Shannon, Martell Snoop Shannon from Miami, Florida, just across Alligator Alley here from Naples. That toss up top is a little too much on the end and falls incomplete. So 3 straight aerials, having to do so with the down and distance for Zeke Hester, and that will fall incomplete. But Aiden Lockett locking down in coverage.
Yeah, Lockett out of Carrollton High School, one of the premier programs in the state of Georgia. Just battled, came up short, but for a state title. Good protection here. You talked, Neil, about how good that offensive line is, and protection, just nice job there. Lockett running with him. So no harm, no foul on that turnover.
The punt is away from Wild, his second kick. Great job on special teams in coverage. Owen Faust, the Lake Mary Rams, who just won a state title in miraculous fashion, mainly doing this, special teams for the varsity, and he does a nice job on the tackle.
They're going to bring Downs back out here for the second series, Neil. Be interesting to see it coming off that interception here on first down, if they let him shake that off, put it up in the air.
So 2 straight series for Downs. Jair Charles is the other quarterback for Team Electric there in the black. And Downs throws. Quick little hitch on the seam, a minimal gain. And there is Ja'Cory Shockley, who said to me before the game, you're going to be calling my name a lot. Well, they tried to get it to him on the interception. They go back to him there for a short reception.
Bryson Robin before doing a good job, though, making that tackle in space. From sure, coming off that INT, they wanted a quick high percentage throw. Let Downs kind of put that in his memory.
At IMG Academy, Downs with a pocket to let it rip, and there is the man he wanted, Shockley. 3rd straight target, and he comes up with a big reception, but he's in some pain after laying out to make an excellent reception.
He's the inside receiver just on a go route. He turned him loose underneath, expecting help over the top, and Good job by Down, seeing his setting his feet, driving that ball downfield. Nice job here by Shockley. The fingertips. He's up. Looked like he hit the ground hard, but tell you what, remind me to get some lottery numbers for him because he's doing a nice job of forecasting. Said you'll talk about him, and he right out the gate. He was a late add to the roster, and when I got to practice yesterday, a couple of the coaches came over and said it's not taking this guy long to stand out, and he's showing why.
Not bad for a late ad with 18 offers. Michigan, Nebraska, Florida State, Tennessee, the U. They're all in the mix. Baby G-Ski is his nickname. But he has been big time so far, and that's the biggest play from scrimmage in the game tonight so far. To the outside it goes, and that pass complete to Darryl McFadden. He brought up Carrollton. They were in a real clash with the Buford Wolves, who won the 6A Georgia State title and by many ranked, including ESPN, as the #1 team in America.
Yeah, but it looks like Carrollton's going to continue to be a player with some of these two young guys in this 9th grade All-America Bowl freshmen.
It's 2nd and 1 at the 11. Downs will hand off up the middle. This is Jaden Boom Phillips right here in Naples, Florida, and the Community School of Naples. It's enough for a first down for Team Electric, who are threatening with the first points of the game here halfway through the first quarter.
They're going to work with a first and goal.
They'll get a water break. It was unseasonably hot, you would say. We're not complaining about that with the weather pushing near 80 degrees here in Florida.
Oh, coming down from just outside of Boston, I was loving the weather today. And I will say this, I was down on the field. It's a beautiful night here in South Florida for some football. So it has definitely cooled off. Great conditions.
What do you keep in mind when you're taking a close perspective with these kids, knowing as freshmen they've got still 3 years of varsity ball to mature into the player that they may really become, even though they're showing flashes now?
Well, yeah, you have to. At times, look at that offensive line. If we weren't telling you they were freshmen, you probably wouldn't know. I mean, they're physically advanced, but you also have to at times remind yourself they are still just freshmen.
Downs gives to Phillips. It's going to be lassoed and strung down by several impact tacklers for a loss of a few in that backfield. Shockley, the big reception to put him in this position. But it's 2nd down and 13. They can get a first down just inside the 1.
But to answer your question, it's just these guys are still young. They've got great physical tools. The thing you want to see with so many of these players, the flashes they show, is that over the next 3 years, they continue to cultivate the physical tools that they have, that they don't. You hope they don't feel like, even though they're in an event like this, that they got it all figured out, that they know there's still a lot of work to do to maximize their ability.
Downs on the out. Through the hands of Shockley. Good to see him back out there. Might have just been that wind knocked out of him on the fall. Leaning out for that reception. He had 10 TDs, this freshman, at the varsity level. McEachern, the Indians in Powder Springs, Georgia.
Seen one short one, number 3. He's going to be the bottom of the screen. McFadden, we talked about him. Really impressed watching him. He is quick. I think he's maybe a quick pass out to the edge, try to get him in some space.
Downs going to the back corner, and it's overthrown. Looking for Evans Branch, the 4th. He's from Cutler Bay, Florida. Shined really on the defensive side of the ball his freshman season of high school football, but they have him as a receiver. And you'll see that also in this game just because of the space needed for several positions. You might be a star in one position for your varsity team, but here in the All-Star game, you're trying a different position.
And again, too, for this age, I think the more you can do, the better as well.
Well, Camden Baker, who's comfortable from 58 yards out, is going to kick this field goal and pop it. Oh, we got a timeout coming first, and that's a great time to visit with Joe Skladany down on the sideline, and he's got Ja'Cory Shockley standing by.
3, 2, 1. Just let everybody know that FBU merch is for sale
Did you land on it weird?
I just landed on the ball to the wind on me. It's straight though. I'm good.
What, you have too much for a pregame meal? What was it?
Nah, it's the ball hit me. You feel me? I landed wrong. It's crazy.
You did. Well, where are you from, my man? Where are you coming in from?
Atlanta, Georgia.
Atlanta. Good.
Yes,
That's right. That's a Braves part of the town.
Yes, sir.
Nice, there. Well, keep on doing what you're doing, my man. You can make it big in life.
Yes, sir.
Keep going.
Appreciate you.
All right, thanks, Joe. Him and his brother, Tom, grew up in Bethel Park, Pennsylvania, or Joe Skladani, and Tom was time first-team All-Pro in the NFL with the Browns and also punted at Ohio State, and that is pounded through by Camden Baker. The Carroll Dragons of South Lake, Texas, and the opening points belong to Team Electric, 3-0.
Reminiscent of the Miami-Texas A&M game yesterday. Only the difference was this kicker made it. It was like a big play downfield and stall and then kick, but at least Baker put her through.
High side, that was a special teams nightmare for both teams on that windy day in College Station where Miami prevailed. The college football playoff in their opening round games completed yesterday. So 3-0 Electric, and right out to take it at the 30-yard line. It's Merriman and the impact offense. And they'll lob that out with no one open downfield. There's good coverage.
A good coverage that allowed Carson Bell eventually break free. Reports an offer from Syracuse. Syracuse does a great job here in South Florida.
They have a tendency, too, to get in early and try and capture some of those young players and put them on the board. There's Merriman with a delay, and this is McAllister, who was sensational with 1,400 all-purpose yards for one of the best teams in all of Ohio at the public school ecosystem in Central Ohio, Pickerington Central. And he runs hard up for a first down.
They showed it right there, decisive downhill runner, good vision for a young back.
He has 6 offers after his freshman season. Toss to the near sideline, and the run back into the interior comes on that play, and Solvair Hughes, who's from Toledo, Ohio, and St. Francis de Sales, the Knights.
That was a good job. James Allen, number 6, did a great job of blowing up that play, and Hughes was able to kind of keep it going and get some positive yards.
McAllister takes the handoff from Merriman. Once again, north and south, and picks up another first down. We're very close to it. They're going to spot him right at the marker, which is at the 49 of Team Electric.
Yeah, no hesitation for a young runner. He really presses the line and can quickly locate those seams. Some of the runs he's been on and keep feeding him right now.
Louisville Pitt on his radar after that rookie season. Now with a couple of fantastic cuts into the second level once more, down to the Electric 40. First down, and it's EMAC's series right now for Impact.
He's built like a freshman, but he does not run like a freshman. Great instincts. I mean, he just is fearless as he gets downhill. Some of those ability just to kind of get to the line of scrimmage, see a seam, and quickly react.
Pickerington Central's got 2 big school state titles in Ohio. 2016, 2019. The Stiles brothers, who shine at Ohio State, went to that program, and McAllister looks like the next emerging star, at least offensively, for Pickerington Central. And here in this game for Team Impact, 6 more yards, and he's going to get a breather. We're inside the last 3 minutes of this opening quarter. And the first real penetration and threat for Team Impact. Justin Merriman grew up idolizing Tom Brady, as do so many young wannabe quarterbacks. He's in a keeper mode here. Runs out of the near sideline. We're stalking him to make sure he was going to get no further. James Allen, the defensive back from Tampa, Florida, who is a rising star after his freshman year.
He's been in on a few tackles on this drive. Head coach for Team Electric, Kareem Birch, who in the Hall of Fame at Ball State as a DB, really raved about Allen this week.
Kareem Birch played with the Philadelphia Soul Arena Football League, relocated to Jacksonville, Florida. He is coaching Team Electric. Grant Lewis coaching Team Impact, who's been at the helm of one of these teams in each of the last 3 years. 2nd down and 5, and a timeout called here by Team Electric. Some good old-fashioned toting the rock behind that big offensive line. Why wouldn't you, Craig, with how they're built and what they're doing on this drive right now?
Yeah, I'm a pretty simple-minded guy. If it's working, keep doing it, and they're running the ball. And as you mentioned, I mean, that offensive line is outstanding. We've been really raving about number 60, Landon G., but he's not alone. That group up front is doing a good job getting push, and McAllister has kind of been the one carrying the load, but Rashawn Brown as well at a South Point High School. That's a school, home of Jadeveon Clowney. A lot of other great players that come out of there. He's a player with a powerful stride, too. So they've got 2 really good running backs, and that's how I would try to continue to push this drive downfield.
Well, from McAllister's perspective, you don't see a ton of freshmen who finish 2nd team All-Ohio at Division I, which is the big school division in the state, but he accomplished that with his rookie season, and they bring in Rashawn Brown, who you were just alluding to. He was a 8th grade All-American. The Under Armour next game, which is played in Orlando post-Christmas. Long drive here that began at their own 30. Hitch to the outside. And we'll go out to Bishop Allen. And Allen tugs it along, just coming up shy of the line to gain. 3rd and 1 coming. Another South Carolina kid, Allen from Pleasant Hill.
Big number 64, Nathan Balakaono, there at the left guard. Some of those other offensive linemen in there.
FBU national champion with Utah, Balakaono. Breaking tackles and determined to get to that goal line. Just brought down with a shoelace touch down to the 2, McAllister.
You see the quickness to make one defender miss in the backfield, and then some tough running. Found out those yards, and I'd let him finish off this run. Take it to the left side.
And McAllister, just that quick cut awareness. They're waiting on the signal. He fell back, but they'll say he is still shy, so 2nd and goal coming up. They went 9 plays on this drive, and McAllister doing the heavy lifting for Impact. And with a minute remaining in the first quarter, the 15th FBU All-American Bowl, powered by Battle. Merriman, McAllister, well, they're ready for it. They've seen it one too many times, and it wasn't going to fool Desmond Reeves, who's hunting him down with a slew of other tacklers, including Dwayne Benjamin.
Yeah, Reeves, he's from St. Francis Academy in Baltimore. Just had a big game a couple weeks ago against Corner Canyon. He's powerful downhill, kind of almost a little bit your traditional inside linebacker. Reports off from South Florida. Naturally, Maryland would be interested there in the DMV area. He's able to get downhill.
Well, they go 4 wide receivers on 3rd and goal from the 4. Justin Merriman. Father Sean, a 3-time Pro Bowl linebacker, defensive rookie of the year in the NFL, but son wanted to work the offense. Wanted to be a quarterback since he was 5 years old. He's going to let the quarter expire, and so we'll walk it to the other end for the big 3rd down coming up for Team Impact, who trail Team Electric 3-zip at the end of a quarter. Here in Naples, it's the 15th FBU All-American Bowl, powered by Battle.
Gatorade has the #1 proven electrolyte blend, designed to hydrate better than water, so you can lose more sweat and put the league on notice. Gatorade, is it in you?
Yeah, birds in the trap, they gon' stink. Mother, Mara, serving the act out of baby bottle. Don't tell me shut up, you are not my boss. Turn up so much, now I just can't turn off. Don't call me back since you can't answer when I call you. Daddy was a rolling stone, I get it from my father. Chain so heavy that I can't rock all of. She knew I was a devil cause I wear a lot of product.
You're up to right in the booth right there.
Start of the second quarter beckoning here in Naples. Joe Scladani is down on the field, and we send it to him. He's got special guest in Camden Baker.
Right here on the side. He just pushed through that. What was it, about a 30-yard field goal?
Yes, sir.
What's the difference between kicking down here in Florida as compared to where you were back in, Texas?
Yes, sir. It's great here, man. I'm just really happy to be here, yes, sir.
What's the weather like in Texas now compared to good old sunny Florida?
It's not as humid there, yes, sir. It's a lot easier to kick there.
Really?
Yes,
sir. What's your dream team? What do you want to play for when you're in college? What are you thinking?
Arizona.
My man.
U of A.
Keep it clean. Okay, keep on kicking it, my man.
Sir.
All right, back to you guys in the booth.
The Cats, all right, good job, Joe. It is 3rd and goal, and a loft to the back of the end zone for the touchdown. Impact strikes on that toss, wide open in the back of the end zone. Rush Williams, who's one of the captains. No rushing there, just a reception where he's wide open. 6-0, 6-3.
You're going to get him on the slant here. Able to create separation, a good throw. The run game got them down here. Finish it off with that nice pass.
Spread the field wide and convert on the first play of the second quarter. It's Austin Wild, first team All-Region as a freshman. And that kick is up and good. So 7-3 Impact. And they worked the well in the wheelhouse of that offensive line that they've been raving about all week long here in Naples. Of course, it's not just the FBU All-Americans who just completed their freshman season, but you've got the Future Showcase, 5th grade, 6th graders, 7th graders, 8th graders, all getting an opportunity earlier this afternoon to go through a combine to prep them for what may be ahead, playing in a game like this down the road. The national championships, the Football University National Championships are tomorrow. Bowl week is something to behold. Of course, the ultimate dream, the Navy All-American Bowl, which feeds in, of course, the tradition over 20 years strong in San Antonio, Texas, coming up the first weekend in January. Electric goes back to work on offense. And the Impact defense, perhaps buoyed by that offensive drive, are ready to go, and there is nowhere to go in that backfield for Zach Watts.
Yeah, Michael Williams, number 88. Good job getting upfield. In-state player. Good job. Not a lot of people were able to corral Watts this year, over 1,000 yards as a freshman.
Jair Charles gets the series now after Downs got it going on the first 2 offensive possessions for Electric. And he slings one on the out route, and it's caught by McFadden. McFadden takes a spill after a gain of about 3, bringing up 3rd and 7.
McFadden, player, has done a little bit of everything early on. He's been in the secondary, receiver, out of the backfield.
Much of his time with Carrollton on that loaded squad came with the JV. He did have 6 receptions for 64 yards at the varsity level. Charles from Springfield, Massachusetts. Also a basketball standout. They motion McFadden. And Charles lets it rip, and it's reeled in for the reception. Down to the 36-yard line, a team impact. What a catch.
Hey, Joey Furtado doing a great job tracking the football, adjusting, making that catch.
And the Miami native, Miami Central Rocket, who shined at Under Armour camps in the 8th grade next game last year. That's the longest play from scrimmage for Electric by 1 yard after that pass in the first quarter to Shockley. Charles going again up top off a wheel route, and it's through the hands of the intended target, and that's Watts out of the backfield.
He had it there, just had a big play right down the sideline. You know Watts can do when you hand him the ball. Oh, unable to reel that one, missed opportunity. Charles out of Springfield, Mass.
There's Watts in the backfield. Charles calls for the snap, gives to Watts off a gashing hole, and then taken down by Caden Graves, the Grayson Ram from Atlanta, Georgia, big number 81 in white.
Number 13, Zachary Watts on the carry.
Grayson, outstanding program. Graves already reporting offers from programs like North Carolina, Georgia Tech that came in this fall.
And Graves, the man he just tackled, who's got 9 offers in his own right, had over 1,000 yards for the Carver Tigers. Played varsity as an 8th grader there. Charles rolls, finds Watts, and pulls out the hurdle. Everyone wants to Barkley these days. And he makes the leap for a first down and inside the red zone.
And Watts, who had that drop about 2 plays ago here, showing the ability to going up. See him slip out of the backfield. Nice job by Charles, finding him, dropping it off underneath. Charles doing a nice job of making some throws, keeping some plays alive.
So it's the running back Watts who's shining on this drive. First series for Jair Charles at quarterback. The ball at the 15. Watts looking for a crevice and got about 5. You know, there's only one ball to go around, and you've got so many stars in a game like this, Craig, so the patience is key, but you may feature some guys early and then go back, but you always got to be ready for your number to be called.
Yeah, we've seen a little bit of difference here for Team Impact in the white jerseys. They've been kind of going back and forth for electric, kind of 2 series. These games is always interesting how you handle rotations.
Charles got plenty of time here, but nothing downfield before he will roll out at the 11-yard line. He's actually going to lose a few yards, bringing up 3rd and 8. They can get a first down inside the 3. We're midway through the second quarter. 7-3 Impact. The team in white has the lead.
Yeah, there, Charles. He's done a nice job kind of orchestrating his drive. At that time, he rolled out to his right. He had all of his receivers to the left. He kind of cut the field in half and only had one option and wasn't there. Had to take the loss.
Out wide is Aiden Robinson on that far side of your screen. Charles comes back to the near side where he's got McFadden, who will coast in for a party of 6. And Electric answers the Impact score with a touchdown of their own and go up 9-7. Find those Carrollton Trojans. They can do some damage.
Yeah, just a little bit of bunch formation. 2 receivers worked inside. The rest of the defense went. McFadden just kind of hung back and quickly got it out to him on the edge, and it was smooth sailing for him.
Two extremely dangerous receivers who have caught the touchdown pass in this game, and they've had open pastures to do so with a short field. The extra point up and good after Baker, who hit from 30 yards earlier with a field goal, knocks in the extra point, 10-7. Well, that's a nice little drive and response from Jair Charles. You're waiting your turn. You didn't play the first 2 series and engineer a really good move downfield with the help of Watson Company. And the touchdown from McFadden.
You kind of feel, too, now that we're 1 quarter in, about a quarter and a half, just getting a little bit more comfortable, as you had mentioned a little bit earlier with Neil, too. It's like these are great players, but they only got a few days to try to get on the same page. But once you get in this setting, competitive juices start to flow, and you start to feel a little bit of that synergy after a few days together.
We'll get to Joe after this play, but it's a QB keeper And sweeping to the outside with a great run is Zeke Hester. All the way up near midfield, Joe Skladany's with the touchdown man in Daryl McFadden down on the electric sideline.
I'm with Darren McFadden here. He was the man that leaped over the guy 20. What, are you a pole vaulter too? What do you do other than football?
I run track and field. I do long jump.
Nice. And then you just scored that touchdown, man. That was a nice. What was that call?
It was like double slant out route. Yeah.
It's give it to Gary to get in the end zone.
Yeah, it's something simple, man. Yeah.
Well, where are you from, my man? Where are you from?
Atlanta, Georgia. I go to Carrollton High School.
Good deal. Well, hey, score another touchdown. We got money on that.
Sure,
all right, good deal. Back to you guys in the booth.
All right, thanks, Joe. Neil Sika with Craig Hombert up here, the ESPN recruiting coordinator. A sensational work, another national tour throughout. First down on the tote by Impact, and they're moving the football right after that electric touchdown.
So McFadden, who jumped out at me at practice yesterday, but I had to have a heart-to-heart with him. I wanted to get some guys. I wanted to get some pictures that we can potentially use for the UC Report, ESPN, and he's number 30 on the roster. So I tell the guy, get pictures of number 30. And I'm looking at number 30, and I'm like, that looks like the kicker. I go, where's McFadden? He goes, I'm right here. I'm like, why are you wearing number 3? He's like, oh, we switched. I'm like, why would you show up to an all-star game where you get exposure and change your number without telling anybody? Like, so any young players out there watching, if you go to a camp or you go to an event and they sign you a number, I don't care how much you hate that number. Everybody that is there to watch you knows you by that number. Tough it out for a day, tough it out for a week, because the worst thing is to switch numbers and nobody knows. And then you're like, well, who's that guy?
Well, poor Camden Baker's put 2 through the uprights. But he knows that you've got the stock archives of those photos down the road.
Yeah.
But McFadden, Daryl McFadden with the touchdown for Electric. You're also seeing a couple of shots. Eli, the famed YouTuber, who's in the blue sweats down there, taking in this FBU All-American Bowl. Another series here for Zeke Hester from Canby, Indiana. Decatur Central is high school outside of Indianapolis. And a little bit of a jet sweep and a bubble toss that is made for disruption.
Should be an incomplete pass.
That's indeed what it should be, and they recognize that.
See him coming in motion here. He's going to pitch it to him. He can't hold it, but that's kind of why you do that. You don't hand it off, because when things do go bad and it hits the ground, it's considered an incomplete pass instead of a fumble.
I think the Rams are still confused about that from the other night. Avion Darien was a late add to the game, was that intended man on the jet sweep. There is nowhere downfield to throw for Zeke Hester. He will step out. 10-7 Electric. They are making plays. Impact is making plays. Joe Skladany is making plays. He's got a big man down on the sideline to chat with. Marvin Alexander standing by with him.
Out here with Marvin Alexander. Alexander, all the way from Houston, Texas.
Sure.
How much you weighing in nowadays? You're the biggest guy in the field.
309.
309. How tall are you?
6'4".
6'4". Now, you hit the weight room, or you hitting that pretty hard right now? Or
Yes,
what?
sir.
What's your bench? Am I asking?
I haven't really maxed out yet.
Yeah, but you're getting there.
Yes, sir.
Well, where do you want to go to school? What are you thinking? What's your dream school?
Ohio State.
Oh, you're the man. Another Buckeye on his way to high. See you guys.
Yes, Joe, of course, Buckeyes run in your family. And for Marvin Alexander, the Stratford Spartans, he played for FBU Houston, was a UA Under Armour Next All-American. So the punt was sent away after there was nowhere to go on that third down for Zeke Hester. And back comes this Electric offense. It was Charles and Watts in that backfield. And the center, Kevin Novel from Blue Springs, Missouri. And the second straight series for Jair Charles. Branch will come back to take in the reception. He got a minimal gain before Riley Lewis, the defensive back from Arlington, Texas, makes the tackle.
Good job by you. I got to tell you, those impact color schemes. They are great up in person. Up here, they are not a fan of me.
On the dark background. Well, we've had some mysteries for sure through the history of this game with the cool jerseys that the players wear, but the numbers can be a nightmare for the broadcast team. Lasso down is Watts. It's almost looking like something out of Nickelodeon with
look like creamsicle
with
packages.
the dissolving numerals on those white jerseys.
Yeah, look very cool up close. But nice job here getting downhill. Good tackling.
Clock running inside 4 minutes in this first half. Been a good competitive game in this 15th FBU All-American Bowl. Watts going to dash to the outside and then take a man on, head on. Pick up the first down, stepping out at the 41.
Yeah, nice job here by Watts. He's going to bounce it back the other way. Watch the hand switch. I love it. The ball carrying that hand, moving it to the outside and lowering that shoulder and finishing that run. Showed his hurdling ability on a previous drive. Now, ability to switch hands. Talked about Watts over 1,000. He was one of two 1,000-yard rushers on his high school team.
Crazy. 1,800 all-purpose yards. He returned kicks, did it all for Carver outside of Atlanta, Georgia. Florida State, Georgia, Georgia Tech, all on his radar.
Dylan Thomas out of State of Texas, another player already 9th grade reporting offers.
See Thomas make that tackle. It was a gain of 1.
As we say this too, Neil, it's important to say they're all verbal offers at this point.
This is correct, not officials. Jair Charles with the edges collapsing. Gonna mosey his way along, and that was quick, but there's a marker in the backfield. It's not gonna stand. Charles showing some of that elusive ability, and one of the things you brought up in the case of even a Zeke Hester, if there isn't a lot of film on someone or they haven't gotten some of that recognition, how much does a game like this, if you play well, buoy things down the road for you and really put you on the radar?
Yeah, I mean, it certainly can help, like I said, for me, for a couple of guys here, probably about 80% of this roster I'm familiar with, about 20% I'm learning along with all you watching. But to that point, they're now getting on my radar. I'm learning about it. And a lot of those guys, you say, well, how do they wind up here? Because they went to events, competed, stood out in those events, helped get them on the radar for those who select for this game. So it helps to compete all year round.
Football University camp circuit is the best around nationwide. In the offseason, going in the spring and the summer, Top Gun, their premier camp is held here at the Paradise Coast Sports Complex. More good work in the secondary, so there's nowhere with the option for Charles. He's going to glide on out.
Caden Graves there in pursuit, but nice job in that secondary.
And you got Graves.
One of the two Grayson defensive linemen in this game, along with Rome Samuels, number 73.
Michael Williams Jr., local from Florida, was also in on that last play defensively for impact. Watts in the backfield. Jair Charles. It's 3rd and 20. Charles is running. Jair Charles has the first down and more. Junk into a jewel with the pocket collapsing, and he made his mind up rather early to take off and run.
Yeah, you hit it right there, Neil. He didn't wait. Some of these previous plays, he's kind of stalled back there, waited a little bit too long to kind of pull the ripcord and run, and wouldn't have any alleys here. Low snap, scoops it up, sees a lot of green. He tucks it and goes, and it was a nice job kind of towing down the sideline. Feel bad, though, for defensive backs, too, because you get near the sideline, you start to pull up, and you got to, when you're in between the white lines, you got to go attack and get him out of bounds.
Charles trying to lead two promising drives here, and that throw off the slot fade just goes in and out of the hands of McFadden, who has the electric touchdown.
Yeah, Dylan Thomas doing a nice job there in pursuit. You look at a young player again, some of these guys' physiques, you see how long he is, the length out of Iowa Colony High School, state of Texas, reports offers from Miami, Texas State.
He's an AAU track All-American, Dylan Thomas.
It's a nice blend to have that type of length and to be able to run as well. Good job in coverage on that previous play. Oop.
Watts is to the left of Charles, but we've got movement on the line. Creeping forward was Juju Odenthal, and the young man who now lives in New Jersey spent much of his life actually in Cologne, Germany. It's his very first year in the States, but we've seen FBU in the past also dabble in the European model and All-Star games, Germany, Mexico, and Odenthal, promising talent who's found his way to America. Off the RPO, and that toss goes right down the seam for the first down to Robinson.
A good read. A little bit high on that throw there. You want to kind of lead Robinson. He's going to be at the bottom. Watch him pull it, throw. He lets him a little bit lower. He allows him to run after that catch.
Inside of 100 seconds in the half, Watts swallowed whole in that interior of the Impact defense. A timeout here from Electric. And Jair Charles, two promising drives, one that led to a score, and another one on the move here late in the first half. Well, this has been a good competitive game so far. Well balanced.
Yeah, both teams. And as you expected, the talent on board, as we talked about, a little bit feeling out early on, but both of these teams have kind of settled in and doing a nice job, too, both teams kind of spreading the ball around. We said quite a few names, getting different playmakers involved. We'll see, too, though, here, if they bring the pressure with inside 2 minutes, they're allowed to blitz each half. So see if the defenses try to turn up the heat a little bit.
So many impressive young men have come through this game already in its 15-year history and gone on to great things at the college level and the professional level. And the FBU contingent, Steve Quinn, Eric Richards, Anthony Williams, putting together a roster worthy of your viewing pleasure once again here in 2025. Charles to the air. It's caught. Touchdown. Aiden Robinson, who's known by pocket, tucks it away for 6.
Charles do a nice job here, delivers it, beautiful throw, kind of drops it right in there. Defensive back kind of running with him, looking back though, loses that step, and really just a beautiful throw, good concentration by the receiver, but really nice job there by Charles, who, as you mentioned, Neil's done his series, has made the most of them.
And he's thrown 2 touchdown passes to 2 young men from the A, Americus Georgia, Aiden Robinson, Sumter County Panthers. He had 6 varsity touchdowns this past season. The extra point is up and good. It's been a perfect night for Camden Baker with 2 extra points and a field goal, and Electric. They're playing that way. 17-7 the lead. Drop it in the
So based off of what we've seen so far, we'll see who they kind of take shots here with.
Merriman and McAllister. And they throw a screen to McAllister, who's got blockers in front. And he's off to the races, where he's brought down at the 35. Touchdown saving tackle by another Ohioan, and Dantes Shepard, the Glenville Tarblooder, save 6.
A great job just setting up that screen here. You're underneath. You see they just draw all those black jerseys upfield, and just a sea of white jerseys in green for McAllister to take advantage of a great first down.
It's a 30-yard pass play on the screen. Merriman on the roll has that pass complete to Bishop Allen.
Allen, who's a player who saw this offseason on the UA Middle School camp circuit, tested really well.
That's Allen's second reception. And right back comes Impact's offense on the move. 50 seconds remaining in the half. They come at Merriman. He finds his tight end on the outside. That's Drew Martin from Graves County, Kentucky, but plays down here at IMG Academy up the road. Another tackle coming for Shepard. Goes by Uno, and a timeout here. And while we have a moment with 41 seconds remaining in the half, it's Joe Skladany down on the sideline with the man who had the latest touchdown, Aiden Robinson.
I'm down here on the field with Aiden Robinson. He just caught that nice little fade pattern. Aiden, how many times have you done that in your career?
A lot.
It looks like it'll be a lot more, too. Now, where are you from?
I'm from Sumter County, Georgia.
Now, you've been playing with these guys, you said, for a long time. This is the All-Star game, but how do you get to know them all?
I met a few of the guys on FSG, 7th grade.
Nice.
Yes, sir.
So you've been getting around. All right.
Yes,
I hope to see you a lot more future All-Star games, my man. Keep doing it.
Yes, sir.
Thank you. Back to you guys.
All right, thanks, Joe. You know, it's interesting, Craig, because how recruiting now dips into the middle school level, and when kids come on the radar, and you've obviously got the notion as a young man to maybe look at your name online and see where it's being brought up. That's a pass that weaves through traffic in the middle. And Coleman comes up with it for impact. But to actually play with these guys who you've probably read about or heard about for the first time as a 14-year-old young man is got to be something surreal, I would think.
Yeah, well, you know, social media and 7-on-7 football really shrinks the country. It's amazing how many guys kind of cross paths over the summer. I did a game between, I think it was a team in Florida and a team in California. I was shocked how many guys were like, oh, I played with him in 7-on-7 leagues. I was like, you guys are on opposite sides of the country, but they already kind of knew each other. So it's the fraternity of some of these elite athletes is kind of small. It's interesting how they kind of get to know each other, and kind of neat that they kind of, even in an event like this, kind of get to spend some time together because they're kind of going through something not a lot of high school kids can relate to.
And you're on a pedestal on the national stage here tonight, and going forward, Rush Williams had that last reception. Timeout taken here by Team Impact. 8 seconds remaining, so you got one play to maybe dial something up. Now, the kicker, Austin Wild, hit from 57, he said, in practice, 45 in a game. But right now, Grant Lewis, the head coach of Team Impact, is thinking, let's send this one toward the end zone. With 4 wide receivers and McAllister off the right hip of Merriman. And Merriman is going into double coverage. It's picked. Intercepted. And taking it back the other way is James Allen, and Allen is broken free. James Allen into the history books. 105-yard interception return to end the half.
How quickly things can change. Talked about head coach for Team Electric, Corrine Birch, who's yesterday and then again today told me how much James Allen has stood out to him and getting a glimpse wide. Predetermined where he wanted to go. 2 receivers there, as you mentioned, 2 DBs there, as you mentioned, Neil. And Allen coming over, goes up, gets it, and then there's no time on the clock. Why not? Take a shot, take it out, and you see that long stride. A talented young man taking it all the way to the house and really kind of putting an exclamation point on a strong second quarter for Team Electric in the black jerseys.
He's already played 2 years of varsity with Carrollwood Day up in the Tampa area. And a track meet it turned into, I shortchanged him a few yards. That looked more like 108 from the back of the end zone. And it's banged through the posts by Baker, and it's 24-7. 21 unanswered points for Team Electric to lead here at the half. And Joe Skladany is down on the sideline with the head coach and Corrine Birch.
Hey, Coach Berg right here down on the sideline. Boy, Coach, call out the dogs. How you doing down here?
Oh, man, doing great, man. The boys are executing, doing what we asked them to do. And, I mean, they putting on full display. I mean, that's why they're here.
That's why. Now, who are your big dogs you're going to unleash on the second half? Who's coming out that you're going to make it pay for it, as they say? Show them you're here.
All of them. But definitely James Allen, as you can see.
Yep.
He took like a 105-yard interception return back to the crib for us before we closed out the half. Zach Watts will probably get a little bit more action second half for us. Nice. Ja'Cory Shockley, obviously. And then everybody in my secondary, man, even on the defensive side, like Desmond Reeves, he's playing lights out at linebacker, man. And
now, do you have any trick plays up your sleeve that you put in during the week? What are you thinking?
Stay tuned.
All right, well, let's get to the locker room with your boys. Thank you, buddy.
Thank you.
I'll see you.
All right, that's Kareem Birch.
You guys in the booth.
It sounds like Kareem Birch just ran
about
105
yards. He was running stride for stride with Allen. The only difference is about 25, 30 years there. But
oh, my goodness.
He's doing a great job there. Kareem Birch, who runs all the testing for the FBU camp circuits, the Under Armour camps, and now showing off his coaching skills as well. And everybody wants it. I'm with maybe at least, can we say 107, 106?
107, yeah.
There you go.
Let's add to the track star, basketball man, LSU, FSU, Texas A&M already verbaling the offers for James Allen, who's got this electrifying interception return to end the half and send Team Electric to a 24-7 lead at the break. And we will step out from Naples, Florida, and come back with the second stanza of the 15th FBU All-American Bowl from Naples, Florida, powered by Battle.
Gatorade has the #1 proven electrolyte blend, designed to hydrate better than water, so you can lose more sweat and put the league on notice. Gatorade, is it in you?
Yeah, birds in the trap, they gon' stink, mother. Mara serving the act out of baby bottle. Don't tell me shut up, you are not my boss. Turn up so much now I just can't turn up. Don't call me back since you can't answer when I call you. Daddy was a rolling stone, I get it from my father. Chain so heavy that I can't buck all of. She knew I was a devil cause I wear a lot of product.
Florida's Paradise Coast is more than just the home of the FBU National Championships. We're also the home of endless natural beauty and wild adventures, the home of holes-in-one and one-of-a-kind dishes, the home of incredible comebacks, and just plain kicking back. So come discover a sports paradise, because only paradise will do. Naples, Marco Island, and the Everglades, Florida's Paradise Coast.
We welcome you back to Naples, Florida, Paradise Coast Sports Complex, the Fellowship of Christian Athletes Award being presented here for the halftime ceremonies of this 15th FBU All-American Bowl. And taking those honors for each team, one representative. Neil Sika back with you here at the break, and we are with the Director of Football for the FBU All-American Bowl, the man that's coached on the sideline, my partner in crime tomorrow for the FBU National Championships. Now, play-by-play extraordinaire, I guess we can add that for the FBU 7th grade All-American Bowl.
Not even.
That's Anthony Williams. It's great to see you. Merry Christmas, and looking forward, of course, to tomorrow. But what a great week we've had so far, and what a great game this has been. And Team Electric has come out shining here in the first half.
No, Neil, it's great seeing you and being with you again. I've been this team. I've been involved in this game for 15 years, and these kids have just been tremendous this week. I mean, besides being great athletes, they're great young men. All the coaches talked about how they're gym rats. They were asking for more. For people that don't know, these kids arrived here on Thursday, registered on Thursday. Mm-hmm. We've had 3 practices, Thursday, Friday, and Saturday, 3 team meetings, and playing at this level on Sunday. It's amazing, and it's a kudos to the players and kudos to my coaching staff who've done a great job getting ready and having a very exciting game here by the half.
In this era of social media notoriety, NILs come into the fold in high schools. Has it been easier or harder to put a game of this caliber together?
I would say it's harder, we had over 1,000 players nominate themselves in our nomination portal, and to pick the top 70 wasn't easy. Now, some of these kids were picked at our Top Gun camp back in July in our summer, but then just going across the country, and there are certain states that don't allow freshmen to play in postseason games, so eliminate like the amount of talent in California. In Tennessee, Michigan, places like that. But just watching a lot of film, talking with coaches across the country, talking with our scouts, and people reaching out to me, and I'm very proud of the roster we put together here.
Director of Football for the FBU All-American Bowl, Anthony Williams. What's your favorite part each week as this thing builds? Is it just to get to know these young men and maybe what they'll become someday, not only in their football careers but as people?
Yes, my favorite part is something we've added the last 2 years. We've added the Fellowship of Christian Athletes reception dinner last night. Packed house, amazing. Great messages from our NFL players, Aaron Williams, my son, and Chris Maragos. Coach Barnes did a great job. And just having players, we had a couple players come up and share their testimony on how football has been a big part of their journey and how God has given them. So it's been great this week. That is by far my favorite, and it gives the kids a chance to communicate and network and get to know somebody from across the country. It's just been an amazing event. We're looking to continue to grow this game as we move forward.
Now, you coached in this game for a long time. Do you miss that aspect, or is it easier to be from the bird's eye view taking it in?
This is year 3 of me being basically the GM of this game, and I appreciate Steve and Eric giving me that, but I miss coaching. I love being on the sidelines, but I get to play now, be involved with both teams, so I'm proud of that and getting to know these kids. So we've got a great staff in place. Yes, I miss it, but I kind of like being the GM, and we had a couple kids go down with some ankles and talking with coaches here in Florida and finding some replacements, and every kid here has just been outstanding in practice, doing everything they should do, being on time, asking questions. And so, yeah, I'm getting used to being a GM now of the game than being a coach.
Of course, this is just one of the parts of the ecosystem before the Navy All-American Bowl and just starting the youth career in Football University, which is housed here in Naples. But we're seeing invites coming out of the Future Showcase that you had earlier this afternoon, and 5th graders, 6th graders, 7th graders all on display. Starts early and earlier, but these are young men that are up for the challenge of what's ahead in their football careers.
Yeah, they are. These kids are getting so much training now, and what I tell them is keep striving to get better. These kids are so much bigger, faster, stronger, and better athletes than when I was back in the day. And so I think that really does make a difference, just the amount of high-level training they're getting at such a young age. And that's why and then the size. I talk about all the hormones in our food. I mean, these kids are 14 years old, and they look like a serious 6A high school varsity team as freshmen. So I'm really excited about these kids' future, both academically and athletically. And even when this game is over, I want to hear about when they get married, when they graduate, when they have the first kid. That's the kind of relationships I'm trying to build with these young men.
Yeah, it was a wonderful touch. I got to hear some of your pregame speeches. The GM, the director of football for the FBU All-American Bowl. Get some rest. You got a big day tomorrow,
I'm looking forward to it.
Looking forward to it. Anthony Williams here at the half. 24/7 electric leading impact for this 15th edition, the 9th year in Naples. The early editions of this game were played in San Antonio, Texas. Neil Sika with you, along with Craig Haubert, our ESPN recruiting coordinator, joining us for this game. Joe Scladani is on the sideline. Well, you're seeing invites not only for the Navy All-American Bowl, but just part of the tree of where these players hope to accomplish their football dreams, and so many. The resume speaks for itself. Whether you look at the Navy All-American Bowl, formerly the Army All-American Bowl, Under Armour All-American game, the future is out there, Craig, for what we're going to see in the stars of the game, both at the collegiate and professional level for years to come.
Yeah, I mean, some of these players are so impressive for their age. And as I mentioned earlier, the key thing is they've reached a point already where they're getting recognized, which is great. But you hope that they remember that this is still early in their journey. If you're going to play in a Navy All-American game, you're still 2 years away. There's still a lot of work that you got to do. So the biggest fear is that they don't look at it like, oh, I've got it all figured out. I've already got an invite to the Navy All-American game or the Under Armour All-American game, or I've already played in the FBU Freshman All-American Bowl. Like, I already got all these accolades, but you still got to keep putting in the work, because there's some players out there who don't get those accolades, get really hungry, and they'll come for your spot.
And there are some young players with a lot of talent out there watching this game, knowing they want to be a part of it, and that'll motivate them for the future. We'll take a break. We'll come back with the second half Electric leading Impact 24-7. The FBU All-American Bowl powered by Battle from Naples, Florida.
Gatorade has the #1 proven electrolyte blend, designed to hydrate better than water, so you can lose more sweat and put the league on notice. Gatorade, is it in you?
Yeah, birds in the trap, they gon' stink. Mara, serving the act out of baby bottle. Don't tell me shut up, you are not my boss. Turn up so much now I just can't turn off. Don't call me back since you can't answer when I call you. Daddy was a rolling stone, I get it from my father. Chain so heavy that I can't buck all her. She knew I was a devil cause I wear a lot of product.
Florida's Paradise Coast is more than just the home of the FBU National Championships. We're also the home of endless natural beauty and wild adventures, the home of holes in one and one-of-a-kind dishes, the home of incredible comebacks, and just plain kicking back. So come discover a sports paradise, because only paradise will do. Naples, Marco Island, and the Everglades, Florida's Paradise Coast.
Back for the start of the second half. FBU All-American Bowl. No kickoffs in this game. So right at the 30-yard line, possession begins for Electric. And what a boon for them after that interception return for a touchdown to end the half by James Allen. And they start with the football leading 24-7. But no gain up the middle. Joe Skladany is with Grant Lewis, the Impact head coach, on how they'll get back into this one.
What did you do in halftime? Well, you going to unleash the Krakens the second half?
That's the goal. We just got to play clean, play smart, and take care of what we can take care of. No more mistakes, and this game will get real interesting real quick.
What are some of the names that you're going to be putting the ball in?
McAllister, our running back, will keep going. Had a great game, had a great first half. We're trusting our quarterbacks. They're going to sling it to Rush Williams, who's our lead receiver right now. I'm hoping he can make a big game-changing difference. But honestly, across the board, every kid's ready to play. They just got to execute. That's what it's going to boil down to.
All right, man, good luck. Bring it home. Back to booth.
All right, thank you, Joe. Great spin out of the tackle by Branch, and then a booming hit by Dylan Thomas, whose name we've called a couple of times from that secondary, the safety for Impact. But it's Electric with the football. Nolan Downs, who got the first two series of the game, but they got cooking on offense under the direction of Jair Charles. Downs wants to keep it going. Another hurdle, and that ball nearly stayed in the field of play after the reception. Now, Taj Anderson, who's listed as an athlete in this game, but he broke open and then wanted to put on his own highlight reel.
Yeah, Taj Anderson. Everybody's trying to go up, as you mentioned. That lucky. That ball actually came loose and landed in bounds as he's going to try to go up. That ball lands in bounds and takes that hop out of bounds. And
maybe it's just the athlete now, Craig, but in my day, of course, this sounds like a get-off-your-lawn comment. If you tried that in a game, you'd be right back on the bench. But these kids who can pull it off, and we've seen it already a couple of times, it's a thing to marvel at after that minimal run up the field by Downs.
It was a nice job, though, too, by Downs on that previous play of when he scrambled. There was room to run, but he saw Anderson downfield, kind of pulled up, delivered a nice pass, allowed Anderson to kind of run after that.
So the ball is at the 31-yard line of Team Impact. They're in the white, Electric in the black, and Electric leading 24-7. Downs tucks and takes for about 6 more. Bring up third and short around the 22. They'll spot him out actually at the 25.
Well, Downs, between Charles, pretty much his series taking up all the second quarter. Then halftime, he's had some time to kind of watch and see that offense get humming a bit. So he wants to get in there and kind of get his second bite of the apple, doing a nice job here, leading this offense.
If you're playing at a prep school, too, to the level of an IMG Academy where there's 3 teams, got to fight for your supper to get noticed. You're already in an environment in a game like this in your high school days. moseying around on that handoff. Didn't look right from the start, and it's actually going to be a loss of a yard on the give to Boom Phillips. Jaden Boom Phillips.
Jaden Phillips, young man, he came to the Miami 8th middle school Under Armour camp, did so well, came back the next day. We let him come back the next day to the high school one, a camp that involved players like Derek Cooper, who signed with Texas. And tell you what, he hung right in there. He did a great job. Like there was no backing down. I mean, he's got work to do. And he's also, honestly, it'd be interesting as he develops. He may wind up, as he matures, being a better linebacker.
5'10", 187 he's listed. So they bring Camden Baker, who hit from 30 earlier. And the man wearing number 30 shows he's got it plenty deep. That would have been good from 45. It's good from 42. And it's 27-8 Electric.
Yeah, it gets right, a nice pop right off the foot and then right down the middle. And Baker, there you go. Got the artist formerly known as number 3, now wearing 30.
You told that story earlier. Darryl McFadden, who's got a touchdown in this game, switching numbers, but Baker has been perfect. He's the number 1 rated kicker out of the Chris Saylor Kicking Academy. Well, 27-7, and we're going to go down to the sideline with Joe Skladany.
Edmund McAllister, he's a phenom from Buckeyeville. How many yards you have this year?
I have 1,400 yards, sir.
I heard you had about 17 touchdowns.
Yes, sir. I had a phenomenal season.
Now, who are you playing with, little boy? Are you playing against guys that can come after you? Are you a good hit?
I'm playing with big dogs up there in Ohio.
I know you're like a 5'8". You're in Pickerington. What's your name of high school?
Pickerington Central High School.
That's a great school, man. A lot of good people came from there.
Sonny Styles, Lorenzo Styles.
I know. You got a legacy. Now you're the next one. My man's coming there.
I hope.
All right, here comes the next Buckeye.
That was the most diplomatic way to say amazing season I think I've ever heard. Mac McAllister with Joe Skladany, the fine running back out of Central Ohio and Pickerington Central. Nothing much in the middle there for impact on that carry.
Wherever he goes, he could tell the SID, sit this one out. I'll write my own bio.
Well, it's interesting here, Craig. We saw that one drive, the one touchdown drive that ended up with the scoring reception from Rush Williams, but they were driving the football down the field, that running game. It's been kind of quiet ever since.
They had a big play shot that they just overthrown there in the first play of this series.
It's a great point. Here's the roll from Zeke Hester. Hester on the outside completes that pass, and it's to the tight end and Drew Martin, his second catch.
Aiden Lockett doing a nice job. Good angle, making the tackle. Carrollton, again, coming up short in that state title game, but Joey King showing that he's ready to reload with that unit. 2 players in this game, 1 on each side of the ball.
Speaking of that secondary unit, Lockett, Shepard, Allen's touchdown, Stotts, Gibson, Roel, they're all making plays. Brower. Fine defensive backs on Electric. It's 4th down and 5. Impact to kick it. That'll tumble out at the 35-yard line. So Electric, who have scored on their last 4 offensive series, and then you throw in the touchdown return for, well, we've had it marked at anywhere from 105 to 108 yards for James Allen at the end of the half, 27-7. And it's already the middle portion of this third quarter. Look at Zach Watts. We had McAllister running hard for impact. Watts had a great series earlier in this game, the big catch and hurdle.
Kareem Birch had said right before half that Watts was the guy they wanted to feature some more in the second half, and he's actually going to start off with empty. He's going to be split out.
That line of McGrath and Kenny, Odenthal, Golden, Novel, Irvin, Alexander, all playing a factor up front for Electric. Jair Charles lets it rip. It's picked at the impact 40. And an impactful play, to say the least. Down to the 10-yard line off the interception. Bryson Robb who's one of the standout DBs in this game, makes his mark. The kid from Orlando, Florida, puts Impact in business.
Charles going to try to go deep there. Throws underneath. Rob doing a nice job, just kind of playing that safety, coming over, bringing it down. And this is exactly what Impact needed. That offense, as you mentioned, Neil, kind of got off to a fast start and stalled. And defense going to give it a spark, going to give it great field position.
Well, there's still plenty of time to mount a comeback. Down 3 scores. And the turnover, each quarterback or each team has thrown an interception. And the head coach, Grant Lewis, is saying we're going to rely on our heavy hitters to get us back in this game. But in the meantime, Kareem Birch, some words of wisdom for his electric defense. Edmund McAllister III is back out there. Emac McAllister, running back from Central Ohio, and they go with Merriman. That was the combination that led him down the field before the passing touchdown. Instead, it's McAllister who goes around end, nearly untouched, and bolts in for a touchdown.
McAllister, you're going to work to the outside, doing a great job, reading it, bouncing it, turning it upfield, and getting in there. Took a hit, he was already past the goal line. Nice job here.
Second team All-Ohio as a freshman, 1,400 all-purpose yards. And that touchdown there, a big one to put Impact back in the game.
Yeah, with a deficit to make up, quickly paying off that turnover.
Wild's extra point is good. Now Austin Wild makes it 27-14 with 5 minutes and change remaining in this third quarter.
We'll see if for Electric now to kind of maybe try to come out, slow it down a little bit. With a nice lead here, but Impact gaining a little bit of momentum. Watts will come in there, see if they kind of try to feed that running game for a little bit.
What have you noticed from players maybe in this game, get all this notoriety in pub their freshman year, to stay on the radar, maybe going into their subsequent sophomore and junior years, because it's not till the senior year again where you really see the explosion of all-star games and being on display with a fuller, mature player.
You know, most of the All-America games, both the Under Armour and the Navy one, both now are a mixture of juniors and seniors, so it'll come up a little bit quicker. Nice job there by Watts. Great patience there.
Look at Watts go. Watts answering the bell on the other side for Electric, and he's inside the 20.
They're going to pull the guard around, and he's going to get inside, and there was not much there. He kind of waited, and a seam open to his left, and he took it. Talked about they wanted to get Watts more involved, get him more touches, saw a glimpse right there. Why?
We were pumping up the Impact offensive line, rightfully so, but Electric doing a fine job. And when you've got an elusive player like Watts, it's a one-cut-and-go situation.
Looked like there was 70 Justin Golden who pulled around there.
Bergen Catholic man. Little curl route in the seam that's going to be complete.
You see there. Nice job. There was nothing there. He waited, bounced to the outside for that big run down the sideline.
It was a 51-yard run on that play from scrimmage by Watts. Anderson had his second catch a moment ago for Electric. Taj Anderson from Orlando, Florida.
Cooper McGrath in at center on O-line. Cam Kinney in at left guard.
Downs the quarterback. Nolan Downs looking for the back corner throw. Been a while since he's targeted Shockley, who was on the radar in that first quarter, but Impact secondary is aware.
Taking it.
Coverage from Carter Juneau. There you see the Mill Creek, Georgia man. Some of these players who have risen to fame in this game, playing with their all-star contingent teams through the years, FBU National Championship, 6th, 7th, and 8th grade level. Those games are tomorrow. Downs, too much. Quick fire, he pulled the trigger, but it's over the head of McFadden. McFadden has a touchdown in this game. Robinson has a touchdown.
Cash Johnson doing a nice job with some immediate pressure. D lineman kind of forced that quick throw a little bit off target.
Camden Baker is hit from 30. He's hit from 42. And on the near hash, will attempt to knock it home from another 30 yards here on 4th and 2. Baker, the field goal maker. 30-14, electric. Has a kicker ever been named MVP? I don't believe so, but
I'll tell you, we've done this game a few times together. We're starting to think alike because I was thinking the same thing. I didn't want to say something blasphemous like that you'd give an MVP to a kicker, but Baker's putting it in there. He's done a great job. Good approach, got great pop off that foot, and he's been right down the middle. So I think he's in the running right now. I think McAllister might say something about that if Electric can kind of close the gap, but if Impact can close that gap for Electric, Baker's doing a great job.
South Lake, Texas, the Carroll Dragons. You know, that field goal he hit earlier, Craig, from 42 yards is a new personal best in any type of a game. 37 was the previous for him. He's 3 for 3 tonight. And with the extra points being clean, too, 30-14 late here in the third quarter. Let's toss it over to Joe, who's on that Impact sideline.
Bryson. All right, I'm down here with Bryson. Bryson just had that main interception that set up the touchdown. Bryson, what were you?
We're in cover 2, man. That's it.
Explain what happened. What are you doing a post? What happened?
Saw a guy running on the. He was in the slot. He ran fake. Actually, I think it was a fake screen.
Yeah.
The dude ran, and I saw the QB eyeing him all the whole time, so I just picked him up.
Really? So you shook when he was. Well, now do it again.
Yes, sir.
All right, back to you guys in the booth. Bryson.
And that's the MVP level of Joe with these interviews. Bryson Robb, the defensive back who had the interception. They give it to Brown, who goes for a couple at midfield for Impact. You have the socials, Craig, and they're familiar with just promoting themselves, these young men, but live interview in game when you're thinking on your feet, that's something new probably that's coming along in this game for the first time for many of these athletes. On the spot questioning.
Well, we saw McAllister already kind of give a 5-star interview with a description of his description of his season. So some of these guys, like in their play, when you put a mic in their face, they're naturals as well.
Encroachment on the defense. Creeping over a little bit early for Electric was Dwayne Benjamin. Waxahachie, Texas, in the Dallas metro area. So it's 2nd and short. Merriman, that's complete. Third reception for the tight end, Drew Martin. He's got that little pop pass, that out route that's always sturdy for 5 to 7 yards.
He's got a good hands, but watching him down there warming up, he's got a big frame. He's got to watch out that doesn't wind up taking a step in a little bit to that O-line. Continues to grow.
Yeah, 6'4", 235 at IMG Academy. Rashawn Brown wants the edge and made more out of what looked to be available. Another first down after a healthy dose at 12.
Rashawn Brown, good body control. You watch him, it's kind of limbs are all akimbo. It's like a hurricane just heading downhill, and he's got those powerful strides and just able to make you miss.
And good footwork to get inside the red zone. They go quickly. Swinging one to that far sideline goes Merriman. And the pass to Bishop Allen.
One of the things both of these secondaries for young players have done well tonight and been impressed with is their tackling. Not just about in the coverage, but a lot of these young DBs have been pretty physical. Good job wrapping up, making open field tackles.
The little things, the intangibles that go with that raw talent and athleticism that you're seeing on display that No one's ever a finished product as a football player, but these 70 freshmen have risen to the top of their class here in the Freshman All-American Bowl. 103 remaining in the third quarter. 30-14 Electric, and Anthony Williams brought up something very interesting. And, of course, if you follow the high school all-star theater and the football landscape, you know there are, is it 10 or 11 states, especially at the freshman level, you can't participate in an all-star game until you're a senior in high school, California being the big one.
Which is crazy because that's like the only rule California has.
Right, right.
It's like, why are you drawing the line there?
Pennsylvania, Michigan. Ohio used to be that way, but not anymore. That's another pass off the jet sweep. And tumbling down, Chris Coleman getting around the edge. Shepard makes the tackle for Electric. 3rd down and 5. They can get to the 8. No, it's still a 2-score game at 30-14. Half-minute remaining in the third. Brown on a swing to the flat. Wanted to break the tackle, but could not break contain in the end of Kenneth Roel. Archbishop McCarthy in Fort Lauderdale, the DB wearing number 2 hails.
Again, you're seeing more of it with Roel there. Brower, the play before, just good tackling by these young DBs in space, wrapping up, not allowing any leaky yardage.
That secondary, that back 7 alone has really stood out for Electric. They lead 30-14. We head to the fourth quarter here in Naples at the 15th FBU All-American Bowl, powered by Battle after this.
Gatorade has the #1 proven electrolyte blend, designed to hydrate better than water, so you can lose more sweat and put the league on notice. Gatorade, is it in you?
Yeah, birds in the trap, they gon' stink, mother. Mara serving the act out of big beef bottle. Don't tell me shut up, you are not my boss. Turn up so much now I just can't turn off. Don't call me message, you can't answer when I call you. Daddy was a rolling stone, I get it from my father. Chain so heavy that I can't buck all her. She knew I was a devil cause I wear a lot of product.
Florida's Paradise Coast is more than just the home of the FBU National Championships. We're also the home of endless natural beauty and wild adventures, the home of holes-in-one and one-of-a-kind dishes, the home of incredible comebacks, and just plain kicking back. So come discover a sports paradise, because only paradise will do. Naples, Marco Island, and the Everglades, Florida's Paradise Coast.
Welcome back, Paradise Sports Coast Complex, Naples, Florida. Golden Gate, part of the city, right before Alligator Alley. And Austin Wild attempting a 30-yard field goal on the first play of the fourth quarter, hoping to match his kicking colleague in Camden Baker, who has had quite the night, but that is pulled wide left. So Electric, which trailed in this game 7-3 at one point, but they have gone on to outscore Impact 27-7.
Real pivotal moment was that interception right before the end of, really right at the end of the half by James Allen, taking it somewhere between 105 and 108. Still waiting on the official number. It was pretty deep in the end zone, but that was really kind of what really kind of shifted things.
It was a back and forth game up until that point. That's Craig Haubert, ESPN recruiting coordinator. Really glad to have him along and his knowledge and expertise. Neil Sika with you, having some fun. And Joe Skladani down on the sideline for this 15th edition. 70 of the top freshman football players in America. That's a shallow pass that falls incomplete. They were looking for Joey Furtado, who had an outstanding catch back at the end of the first half.
With this lead and the way that O-line's been playing, I continue to kind of work that ball on the ground. Jaden Phillips is back there, the tough running back, the local player from around here. He hasn't really had a chance to kind of bust loose tonight, but he's been doing almost all of his work downhill between those tackles.
Here is Boom Phillips. Wants to burst to the outside, cut back inside. Tough sledding. Really good, hard run for 9.
I think that was his biggest run of the night. He put in a lot of effort. But like I said, he's tough. And again, I wouldn't be surprised if as he continues to mature that he doesn't wind up on the defensive side of the ball. But that run was very much kind of a synopsis of the type of player he is. He is tough. Like I said, he hung this offseason with the high school players at a camp.
Might have caught a part of his helmet there. It said FBU Southwest Florida. He won an FBU National Championship with his all-star team based out of the Naples area. Grinding gears again. Lugging that, it's actually a loss of a yard. So 4th down coming up. Jair Charles, the quarterback out there, he really ignited the electric offense after the first 2 series to get them into the comfort zone of moving the ball down the field, and that led to their first 2 scoring drives. On a 4th and 1 here with trips on the near side. They go to Furtado, long and lanky, and those strides enough after the reception. Pick up the first down with plenty out to the 34-yard line.
Yeah, just taking it out to the edge to get that first down, a little tunnel screen.
Impact player down. And so we'll have an official's timeout. I don't know if that's Caden Graves. Looks like a Grayson Ram helmet. The outstanding defensive end from Atlanta. So an injury timeout, and that's also just like any All-Star game. You want to come out healthy, even if the season is complete. 30-14, Electric leading Impact. Joe Skladany is down on the field with more.
On the field with Austin Wild. He's a kicker for the Impact, and Austin came from the other side of the world. Guy, Austin, where are you from?
I'm from Heber City, Utah.
How many planes did it take for you to get here?
It's just 2.5 hours.
Waiting in airports, eating airport food.
Yeah, airport.
What's the difference between kicking in Florida and snowy Utah?
Oh, it's a lot warmer here. The moisture, it just brings down the kick, but I'm still able to do it.
My man. Well, good to see you. I hope you get kick one from the 55 today, right? That's your record, right?
Yeah.
Back to you in the book.
All right, Joe Skladany with Austin Wild, the kicker for Impact. Good to see that Caden Graves got up under his own power and ran off to the Impact sideline, the far side of the field. They're in the white, Electric in the black, 30-14. And overshooting the intended target, Jair Charles. 2nd down and 10 coming up. 8:20 remaining in this game.
I haven't seen it. You mentioned it, Wire. He kind of called his shot. Ja'Cory Shockley is into his left. Been a little bit quiet.
Yeah, really since that first quarter. Shockley, the young man from Powder Springs, Georgia. Off the slant, it's complete to Branch. He's found a 3rd reception in this game. 6'5", 195, Branch.
That's a big frame. You saw him use it right there to shield the defender, working against that Impact defense.
DeMarcus Van Dyke is the one who tackles him. He was a teammate of James Allen at Carrollwood Day. Imagine those guys in the secondary. We already saw what Allen can do. That completion to McFadden. Charles hits him over midfield. It's enough for a first down.
Yeah, you mentioned McFadden. You see him coming in motion. Great hand to see him extend, just kind of pluck it out of the air. Again, he's kind of got that running back build. Used more as a slot. He's a very versatile player.
The 2 receivers from the state of Georgia, McFadden and Robinson, have receiving touchdowns tonight. There's Boom Phillips, the running back. To the left of Jair Charles from Springfield, Massachusetts. Off a delay, Phillips bursting through into the end zone. A touchdown in Naples by the man from Naples. And Phillips scores in the FBU All-American Bowl, 36-14 Electric.
And that's why you keep feeding him. Patience is a virtue. It's been some tough sledding for him tonight, but a nice job hitting it right off the left side. There was a crease and then taking it all the way. Already Potts offers from West Virginia, Colorado State.
Louisville in there along with Delaware State. Extra point is good. A perfect night for Camden Baker kicking the ball and not only getting to play in your home city, but scoring in an all-star game of this magnitude, the All-American Bowl for Boom Phillips. You were saying he was grinding, getting close to maybe breaking one, and hits pay dirt.
Yeah, I mean, it's up till this point, there hasn't been much there. And then here, right off, great job by both that right guard, right tackle, creating a seam, and he hits it, and you see them able to kind of hit that second gear, take it all the way.
He's saying, Craig Harbert, I'm not going to be a linebacker anytime soon.
Yeah.
I'm going to keep running that rock.
He plays a little bit both ways, but focusing on running back here. And, yeah, he's probably that word probably got down to the field. He's like, no.
Here's a first throw up top on the next play for Impact, who has the football back. Now, a running clock can go into effect here in this game. There's 7:05 remaining. Once you get near the 30-point threshold, 37-14, still another score away from that coming into the lexicon of the night. Got the parade of champions, all the all-star teams, 8U, 10U, 6th, 7th, and 8th graders who have participated in Bowl Week. They get honored before the game. Really a nice tradition that's become leading into the feature presentation on this night. 3rd and 6 after a McAllister run of 4.
As you mentioned, a lot of these guys on this field have kind of come through and kind of local Pop Warner teams that have made their way to play in this game and now kind of getting ready to usher into full-time high school careers.
Zeke Hester. Jagged little run by McAllister, who has a touchdown in this game. And you also had a touchdown from the Impact perspective from their fine receiver, Rush Williams. And I kind of think there was some chirping going on. All this talk about how good the offensive line was going to be for Impact, and they've been fine. They've done a great job, and especially on that drive where they had their first score. But answering the bell, that defense of Electric, all across the levels. Martin, the tight end, he's popped up in some nice situations. A first down over midfield to the 46 of Impact. Or Electric, pardon, 37-14.
Well, the head coach for Electric, Green Birch, was telling me before the game that a lot of the players from Impact were telling them that they were gonna take it to him. They were gonna blow him out. I think he said 40 points. So looks like they gave Coach Birch some bulletin board material as he's gone over there and kind of flipped the script. But Impact trying to kind of continue to try to chip away at that lead, make a very difficult, seeming almost insurmountable kind of comeback here. But I will say this, one of the neat things that we've seen, Neil, is some of the breakout players there. We see number 60, where he's right in the middle of your screen from Milton, Landon G. I tell you what, it's hard in a game like this to stand out. But I don't know what it was like when you went to practice. When I went to practice, one of the first names that a lot of the coaches' mouths was Landon G. The buzz that he is creating. Ben Reeves, the head coach at Milton. I had a chance to see Milton earlier this year. And even back in August, Coach Reeves was talking about the type of player that G can be, and since he's been here all week, he's kind of lived up to that as well.
I felt it in the handshake, Craig, when he came up and said hello, and he's a 3-time middle school wrestling champ in the state of Georgia, but now the focus is on footballs. Big number 60 in white.
Brother Ryan was a really good tight end. He was a freshman at Auburn this year, but Landon, he's showing 5-star potential very early on.
Zeke Hester swings it out wide on the far side for the completion to Chris Coleman.
And regardless of what the outcome is here in these remaining 5 minutes, though, one thing is evident. We've seen talking about G, or whether even in looks like a losing effort, Edmund McAllister. There are names that have popped here today. They're names to know. That this is not the last time we're going to be talking about a lot of these players.
Like any All-Star game, the score irrelevant, who wins. Of course, the spirit of the competition. These guys are all competitors. They want to have the bragging rights, but in the long run, it's the starting point, the catalyst, the driving force for the names you're going to be hearing about throughout the next 4 years and into their collegiate careers on the college football landscape, which is bigger than it's ever been. 37-14. Coming up on 4 minutes. Hester to the middle. That's complete. And caught by Rush Williams, who's got his first reception since the first half.
Yeah, Rush Williams up top. Slant, good pass, but again, more good tackling in the second. It's one thing that's really jumped out to me tonight. That was Montrese Status.
Hester wants that same route again. Got it. Don't call him rush, call him receive, Williams. Second touchdown through the air on the reception. Impact. Get to 20 points.
He's going to be working from the right up top. Nice pass, doing a good job just creating enough separation. A good throw there. A nice way to kind of continue to keep fighting.
I love how he's got the quick spike like Homer Jones. Have you ever heard of Homer Jones? He invented the spike, New York Giants receiver in the 60s. Just pump it down to the ground in celebration.
Well, the more time you take spiking the ball, the more you're cutting into your celebration dance.
That's right. Wild hits the PAT. 37-21. And a nice drive put together there by Impact and led by Hester. 3:53 left. And we've got the fine knowledge of Craig Haubert. So what's next for you on the schedule going into the new year, and how you break down what you see here and heading into 2026?
Yeah, coming up next, the Under Armour All-America game in Orlando. Players report on the 30th, the game on the 3rd. So looking forward to that. A lot of the top 27, 26 prospects on board. So that's the next thing. Always a great week. See some of the future college stars, some who played in that game last year. Great freshmen this year. Ooh, big hit.
What a massive, massive hit laid out by the defense. And Van Dyke, it was a late add to this game, but makes his presence felt there.
That was a big hit.
Of course, hand in hand with that Under Armour All-American game is the Navy All-American Bowl in San Antonio, Texas. And the cream rising to the top for the Scholastic game in America in the new year. 37-21. 3:49 remaining. McFadden motions to the middle, nearly picked by Thomas, who's had quite the night in that defensive backfield. And while we have a moment, we'll send it over to Joe down on that Impact sideline.
All right, I'm with Ezekiel right now. Ezekiel just threaded a needle on a nice little 20-yard post pattern. What'd you see open on that, Zeke?
So I seen high cover 4, and there's no safety over top, and my receiver has a post, and he's a dude, so I just want to deliver on the ball right down the field.
Get the ball to the playmakers. That's what it's all about. Now, you're from Indiana. How many playmakers you got on your team back there?
But yeah.
You want to try to recruit some of these kids?
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, for sure.
Back to you guys in the booth. Ezekiel's recruiting.
Yeah, that's good stuff, Joe. Zeke Hester with that touchdown pass. And the second one of the night for Rush Williams.
A lot of high school coaches watch go, leave my player alone.
Well, the way these quarterbacks, too, can break down coverages and recognize what they see already, it's like a simple homework assignment in math class for them. Really impressive. Downs. That's dropped. Pass for Watts. Brings up 2nd down and 10. It's not like Electric's trying to bleed the clock here. You want to showcase your athletes in a game like this, and that's what I love about the fact that they're still coming out, gunning it around the yard.
I think both teams have done a nice job of kind of spreading the ball around tonight.
Very much so. 2nd and 10 at their own 40. Downs feels the rush. Now downfield with 2 open targets, and it's caught. Brought in by Branch. One of 4 in the family. Evans Branch has it inside the 5, 1st and goal.
You mentioned him and Taj Anderson were both there. Nice job by Downs pulling up, dropping it right in there on Branch, who's made a couple of nice plays today. But it's rare that you see double coverage, but it's the receivers outnumbering the DB.
All the receivers have a catch in this game for Electric. And both quarterbacks have really done a nice job. Jair Charles and Downs spreading it. Nolan Downs handing off. And Watts is in a straight jacket. Brought down for a loss of 9. And there's the swarm from that defensive line, and McFadden helping lead the way. Good to see Graves back out there. Timeout from Impact with 2:31 left.
One of the things, too, we've seen tonight from Downs, though, a couple of times, and we saw it on that previous play where he would drop it downfield to number 15, Evans Branch, the 4th. Just stepping up, avoiding pressure, knowing where the line of scrimmage is, pulling up, and still being able to throw the football. Really shown kind of good awareness where he is on the field. Even though there's pressure, he's escaping the pocket, still keeping his eyes downfield, keeping the option to be able to make plays vertically in the passing game alive. And he's done that a few times tonight, including on that shot downfield. Now trying to find their way into the end zone after that loss with that Impact defense. Just built a wall.
Downs, the quarterback. Local man from Cape Coral. And that pass on the outside, a little too far outstretched for Watts.
Michael Williams, Jr., number 88, doing a nice job kind of getting upfield, disrupting that window.
Michael Williams, Jr., another late addition to the roster, and there are those that were named an FBU All-American, and whether it be injury or circumstances, not able to participate in this game, and a few with some recognition that certainly deserve it, even though they're not playing in the game. And a fake for Watts, and then it's thrown over the head of Evans Branch.
I will say, sometimes it doesn't matter when the call comes. It's just that the call comes. Take advantage of it. And I think it's a great example. Players like that who maybe weren't initially on the roster, an opportunity open, they take advantage of it. You never know. You may miss it on that first time. You may not be an initial invite, but you get an opportunity. Always be working. Always be prepared. I remember a year ago before the UA All-America game, we had a late pullout. There was a really talented player from the Orlando area named Jake Krell who wound up signing with Oklahoma. He came in literally 24 hours before got the invite, wound up leaving, earning a 5th star that spring. So you never know when the call is going to come, but for you young players out there, always be ready, always be training, and be ready when that opportunity does present itself.
Baker automatic from 26 yards.
Is he the MVP?
A chip shot. They've just said it on the PA. We've spoken it into existence.
There you go.
He's been perfect. A flawless night for Camden Baker.
One of the premier programs in Texas. So many great players come out of there. Carroll High School, Southlake, Texas.
The only thing we've got that hasn't been flawless, we got to get his helmet off when he's doing the sideline interview with Joe Skladany.
Most kickers aren't used to getting interviewed. Hey, what am I supposed to do? You sure you want to talk to me? You don't want to talk to the original number 30?
Well, he's in the spotlight now. That's for sure. The Carroll Dragons 40-21, 2 minutes left. Merriman sails it up the sideline. A nice catch. That's a first down to Chris Coleman and then some, just shy of midfield.
Baker's head coach, Riley Dodge, he was no stranger to all-star games. He was an All-American as well when he was in high school. Now leads that program.
Quinn Ewers just named the starter of the Miami Dolphins. They fell today to the Cincinnati Bengals. He went there. Greg McElroy, ESPN colleague.
Greg McElroy didn't even get a chance to kind of play until his senior year. Went on to Alabama. Now doing a great job. One of the best color analysts in the biz.
Chase Daniel. R.J. Mickens, the son of Ray Mickens. R.J. shined at the FBU Dallas level and won 3 straight championships in the national championship. Those are all alums of Carroll Senior High, the Dragons, and we're seeing another shining performance today by Baker. After this play, we'll get it over to Joe Scladani. Merriman.
Palmer right now, who just connected on a 4th field goal tonight. How many field goals have you had in past games?
4. Yes,
sir. That's your record.
Yes, sir.
Now, would you rather kick extra points or field goals?
Field goals.
You mean you'd rather not score a touchdown?
No, sir. I'd rather kick field goals.
That is a true mind of a kicker. He wants a field goal over a touchdown. Well, nice job, my man.
Sir, thank you.
What's your longest kicker you ever had this year?
37.
Nice.
Yes, sir.
Keep it going. All right, back to you guys in the booth.
Well, let me update you with the 42-yarder he hit earlier in this game. We've got 50 seconds left. There we go. We should have been briefed. We could have got the helmet off. That's 2 interviews for Baker.
Listen, when you're kicking that much, you can't take your helmet off. You always got to be ready. He doesn't know when he's going to get the call.
40-21. Well, we want to thank our great crew for providing you the coverage here tonight of the FBU All-American Bowl. We've got the 3 national championships tomorrow to conclude Bowl week here in Naples at the Paradise Coast Sports Complex. They've added so much to this facility, including a USL 1 soccer team in FC Naples. They play their home games in this stadium, and in its infancy, it was the host of this game. Opened right after the COVID season of 2020. December of 2020, the first game played here. Brown slips a few tackles after the check down, and Brown is broken open and scores. What a run. Rashawn Brown, 38 yards. Impact touchdown.
It's a little bit high, does a nice job looting one defender, getting it to the edge, making another defender miss, lowering that shoulder, then taking it to the house. Good job. You see that was kind of just a little bit of a screen there. A help. Taking it outside. Watch him make that cut back inside. Stay low. See that block right there, just enough to get in between the defender.
Wild is out. The final seconds are ticking away. Really fine blend of offense, defense, special teams in this game. They're going to let Wild kick that extra point. Up and through. And that is it for the 15th edition of the FBU All-American Bowl. A Christmas tradition here in Collier County comes to a close with Team Electric, the ones wearing black from head to toe, and they turn out the lights in a 40-27 victory over Team Impact here tonight. We'll get some interviews with Joe Scladani. MVPs will be presented. And even after we sign off, we'll stay with you for those announcements. It could be a toss-up. There were so many that made plays in this game for the MVP. And Camden Baker realistically should be in that conversation. The kicker, who was 4 of 4 in this game, but you had touchdowns from McFadden. Branch had a nice game. The quarterbacks, Jair Charles really showed well,
Allen,
in my opinion.
Allen with the INT, the pick
That's
six.
right.
Yeah.
That was the momentum-changing play.
I'm going in on Baker. That's fine.
All right. We threw that out the first time around. But regardless, a great display of 70 of the top freshmen in America here tonight in Naples in this FBU All-American Bowl.
Yeah, again, it was a fun game, some great plays, but it was really also an introduction to what some of the big names that are going to be talked about more over the next few years and what they do in high school. And they're going to start to blow up in recruiting. And some of these players we talked about early reporting some offers, some not yet, but those will be coming. But there'll be some of the future 5-stars.
Well, Eric Richards will have the presentations. FBU co-director with Steve Quinn. And he is down at midfield where we will toss it down. (40-27), the final score. There will be All-American invites, too. And that's an opportunity to already step into San Antonio in a few years' time. There'll be an offensive and defensive MVP in this game. And we're going to send it down to the field with Eric Richards and Anthony Williams.
Even next month for some of you won't remember the score. You'll remember the experience. I've been talking to your parents. I've been watching you. I already told you in the locker room before the game, before I prayed with you. I'm so impressed with these young men. Moms and dads, you guys doing a tremendous job. This is one of the best groups of freshmen I've had. I've been doing this game for 15 years. You guys were on time. You were respectful. You were coachable. You were taking care of yourselves at the hotel. No complaints from the hotel. No complaints from the staff here. Kids looking up to you. You are going up and to the right. And just like I said in my prayer in the locker room, I prayed this game gives you just half the things it's giving me. So proud of the way you handled yourself. You should be proud of not only your teams are proud of you, your family, your cities that you come from, your communities. Tremendous job. But don't let this be the top of your career. You guys got 3 more years of high school. There's so much growth. I've seen a lot of kids come to this game and be like, oh, I'm a freshman All-American, and they stop doing the things that got them here. Guys, as a football player and as a student athlete, we're always a work in progress. Academically, development-wise. You're going to get bigger, faster, stronger, and be more studious in this game. And that's going to take you to a point where this game becomes an enabler to get the best damn education you can get. And that's what I want for all y'all. Right. Yeah, I want to see you playing college, but I want to see you graduate from college. So I'll say it once again. This game will come to an end, either under your terms when you're done with the game or the game is done with you. I want you to be successful after the game is over. Y'all feel me on that? Sure. Don't forget to thank your moms and dads. Guys, we are 3 days before Christmas. Some of you may have jobs. You have no idea the financial burden your parents went through to get you here. Make sure you respect that. Always be respectful to your mom and dad. And thank your siblings. They should be at home getting ready for Santa Claus, and now they're out here in Naples supporting you. Be thankful for how much you have been blessed by God and your parents. Y'all feel me on that? Yes, sir. So, hey, I am proud of you. Once again, score doesn't matter. Clean game. Great job by everybody. I'm going to bring up Eric Richards right now. We're going to give out some awards. Continue to get better, okay? Put your faith in the Lord. Put your faith in your family and your projections up and to the right. Everybody put your hands together for Eric Richards. Here we go.
Hey, listen, I tell you what was the score? Because I don't look at score. Was it like 40-something?
40-27.
We've never had that many points scored in this game. And the reason why? We asked y'all to come together in 2.5 days and put on a show for 5,000 people. Right. Absolutely unbelievable. Let me name some quarterbacks, multiple interceptions. Caleb Williams, Preston Stone, Jay Powell. Interceptions in this game because the speed is faster than what they play. Schools there, more speed and talent on this game. Out of this game, We've been averaging about 20 to 25 of you.
And so we apologize. You can hear Eric Richards going in and out with Joe Skladany's mic. So we apologize for the audio, but he is going to shortly announce the invites for the Navy All-American game down the road, and also the MVPs. Of course, being who we are in the know, we've got that information, and let's provide it for you so we can say goodnight from Naples. The MVPs in this game, Edmund McAllister III, the running back for Team Impact, had a touchdown, close to 100 yards rushing. Kid who was second-team All-Ohio as a freshman, so well-deserved. James Allen, the 106, 7, 8-yard interception return right before halftime for Electric's defense. We're going to give honorable mention. We will, for Camden Baker and his kicking duties tonight. 4-4 from the field, and I think that's a pretty good way to summarize it.
Yeah, I mean, should be Baker certainly worked his way into that mix and delivering when asked every time that he had to kick the football. But really, it was Allen's interception that kind of shifted this game into the wide margin that it was at the end with that interception right before the half, not only going up, high pointing it, but being able to kind of take it all the way to the house really as time has expired and kind of put everything into Electric's favor. But McAllister, again, that's a name you're going to know. I mean, he was absolutely outstanding every time he got a chance to run the football. And then, listen, we saw in all three phases the way Baker kicked the football. So those guys really, all three great representations of really what were two very talented rosters.
And he's also announcing the All-American invites, and we're talking about the game a few years down the road. And those winners of that noble honor tonight, Landon G., the offensive lineman for Impact, and Rush Williams, who had 2 receiving touchdowns. And if you watch them during the week, if you've watched them in the pub leading up, I don't think there's any disagreement with those two because they are future stars in the making.
Yeah, I mean, smart moves there, really good players. And, I mean, that could have gone a couple of ways. A lot of future All-Americans, 5 stars amongst that group out there, 4 stars. And, again, what's really it was a fun day, but really what's neat is this is very much an introduction to some of the future big names in the recruiting landscape and then on to be college stars.
There's McAllister getting the Offensive MVP award, but we've provided that for you here. Electric wins at 40-27. I want to thank everyone for watching here on the FBU YouTube channel. William Warfield leading our fine production team tonight. Craig, a real pleasure. Look forward to doing it again next December. Craig Hawley, ESPN recruiting coordinator, and we'll keep reading and following along with your stuff on the pathway for a lot of these young men on their way to their football journey and becoming stars down the road. Joe Skladany down on the sidelines. I'm Neil Sika. We thank you for watching from Naples, Florida tonight. Electric wins at 40-27. You've been watching the 15th FBU All-American Bowl, powered by Battle from Naples, Florida. We say goodnight and Merry Christmas.